Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. In this series on universal love, Metta, we have already had 12th in the series. Today it will be the 13th. Now the Karaniya Metta Sutta, the Buddha's discourse on universal love, is divided, as I have already mentioned this, but I will repeat again for the benefit of those who have come, newly come. Now the discourse, Buddha's discourse on universal love, is divided into three in a very systematic way, three divisions. Metta, universal love, has to be cultivated in three distinct ways. One is by way of ethical or moral development. In other words, if you practice metta in a sincere and appropriate manner, then along with developing your unselfish love for all beings, you also develop, bring about moral purification and moral purity. Shila. So metta as a shila. So development of universal love as a mindset to deal with the world effectively and positively. At the same time, deal with one's own mind very wholesomely and deal with one's own conduct, which is what Sila does. Sila is moral purification. What does that mean? It means purifying one's actions. Kaya, vacha, manasa. That is, all actions that one performs or commits by way of bodily action or verbal action or mental action. So metta to be practiced as a mode of purification of action. In other words, turning every action into a virtue of love. Selfless love. Disinterested love. Love free from passion and greed. Then the second part is metta, practice of metta as purification of mind and therewith development of all potentials of mind. Mind is a mind. Infinite virtue, infinite power, infinite knowledge. These are the three great things that one can gain by development of all mental potentials. So, by practicing metta through meditation, metta is a meditation. In the first, metta is a conduct. In the second, metta is a meditation. You develop an infinite mind, a boundless mind and pure mind. And the third part, that is exactly what we are going to discuss today. The third part is metta as a means for cultivation of wisdom. What exactly is wisdom? Wisdom means the developing that ability to penetrate into the reality of everything around you and within you. In other words, every experience, every event, whether mental or physical, underlying this event, underlying this action or whatever, there is a reality. And that reality is not revealed by mere knowledge or by any other talent like artistic talent, intellectual talent, or intellectual power, or money power, physical power. All these things that human beings value cannot reveal the reality behind everything. And only through the acquisition, through acquiring wisdom by way of putting oneself in a very methodical and disciplined way of cultivating mind. Very specific way of cultivating mind, which is distinct from merely developing samadhi, etc. So here vipassana, insightful or insightful knowledge or pure insight into the reality of everything. Whatever we say, whatever we do, whatever we think, or everything that we experience within ourselves and without ourselves. All that has to be rightly understood, clearly comprehended, and that can be done only by wisdom. Wisdom penetrates into the reality of every experience, and the underlying every experience. So now metta to be cultivated as an insightful action, as an insightful way of developing and purifying the mind and experiencing reality. So in the third part, Lord Buddha has illustrated by way of a very wonderful simile, the simile of mother. Mother love is indeed unselfish love, universal love. So, Lord Buddha said, Mata yatha niyam puttam ayusa eka puttam anurakhi. Evampi sabba bhutesu manasam bhavaye aparimanam. When translated, it reads like this. Just as a mother, Mata Yatha, just as a mother, with her own life, Ayusa, Anurakhe, shields or protects her only child, Ekaputta. Evampi, Mata yatha niyam puttam ayusa eka puttam anurakhe evampi sabba bhutesu manasam bhavaye aparimanam. Even so, let a serious practitioner of metta cultivate a mind and have a mindset of boundless love, unselfish love for all beings, sabba bhutesu, sarva bhutesu, all that exists, all beings, all creatures. So, this example, he says, to cultivate a boundless consciousness, a boundless mind which seeks the well-being and happiness of all beings, which protects all beings without any self-interest, shields all beings from any form of danger, any form of loss, absolutely disinterestedly. Now to cultivate such a mind, you see, there are disciplines, there are ways of cultivating that. So here he gives the example of a mother. I will give you an example of this particular mother analogy. Imagine a lady who has got 6 children. She is now in the Middle Ages. She has seen enough of life, the so-called enjoyment of life and the responsibility that comes due to enjoyment in the form of children. Now, with 6 children, she is around 40, let us say. You see, from 3 to 23. The first child is 23, the second down, right, the last one being 3. So there is a difference of 3-4 years between each child. So now, the mother feeds them. Her husband earns, he is the only breadwinner, and she has to do everything for the children, not only feeding them, taking care of them, making sure that they are being educated in the right way, they are being brought up in the right way, with the right type of values in life, and in a very responsible way. To be a mother, or a father, or a brother, or a sister, one has to have a certain amount of responsibility. Taking care, taking upon oneself a certain task to promote the well-being of the others. Now the mother, let us say the feeding example. The mother feeds the child, the last child, with semi-liquid food, not liquid food. Now, the first child, she will give the child, son or daughter, heavy meal, rich meal, heavy food. Why? Now this boy or girl needs that. It's a growing age, and to fully develop the body and therewith the mind, this boy or girl has to be fed, and fed very well indeed. Similarly, the second one, somewhere, say 19, 18 or 20, he has to be, or he or she has to be fed very well. Similarly, the third one, 15 or so, or the fourth one, 12. The fifth one, maybe 7 or 6. Gradually, the feeding will have to change. She has to feed the baby, the 3-year-old, with food that he or she can digest and benefit from. Similarly, the other one, 6 or 7 years. Each one gets a type of food that is exactly suitable to the body, to the capacity of digesting the food and getting the benefit out of the food. Get all the nutrition and best of nutrition as well as strength and building up the body and so on. Now, this is the approach of wisdom-based metta. We meet in the world all kinds of people. Let us say in our society, India, is a pluralistic society, multicultural, multi-religious, multiracial, multilinguistic, any number of multi. That is where we live. Unless we have a measure of patience and tolerance, goodwill, and a lot of, let us say, talent, how to deal with different type of people, how to be very positive and friendly, yet be very careful. Protect oneself as we protect the others. So now, to deal in a society, or to take a global society, living in a world of diverse people, diverse thinking, diverse way of acting, metta has to be so fine-tuned that it will exactly suit each person, each man and woman of different ages, different understanding, different cultural development. Now this ability to deal with everyone very, very, let us say, wisely, very adroitly, this capacity comes only when one has a certain amount of wisdom. And here the wisdom will have to be such that it is not just practical wisdom so that diplomatically and this and that you get along with everybody, so you get along and you deal with everybody just to get along. No. This get along philosophy is based on self-interest. Somehow we have to get something out of everybody, out of every situation, and promote one's interest somehow or other. Now when you talk of one's own, it may not be your own personally, it may be your family, it may be your institution, it may be your caste, it may be your country, it may be anything. Because self can be expanded absolutely without bound. Self-interest can go on masquerading itself, posing itself in all kinds of interests. As a patriot, as so-called these politicians, they talk endlessly about country, about they are working for India. My goodness, and go on, look at their bank account. When they started their career as a politician, they probably had a few thousand or a lakh. Now you go on after a few years of service, the fellow has got 4 crore. And the person is a chief minister, mouthing all kinds of platitudes all the time, playing politics in all kinds of ways. Now, that is the person's love for the country. That is patriotism. Or the caste, or the community. Same thing. All these are ways of promoting self, ultimately. The so-called sense of that I am, myness and I-ness. Metta has to be practiced in a way that this myness and I-ness must dissolve. So there is a very nice saying in Hindi. A teacher, my elder, once said, या तो जला दो अपने को, ना तो गला दो अपने को. Either you burn your I-ness with tapasya, or you melt away your ego, your I-ness, with universal love, metta. मैत्री से गला दो या तपस्या से जला दो. अपने को भूलो, अपने मतलब को छोड़ो. Forget yourself. Give up your self-interest. दूसरे को भला को देखो. Look at the good of others. Be happy at others' happiness. The mother is very happy. Mother has to take, she doesn't bother about what the eldest boy or girl eats. She is quite disinterested. Her love is disinterested love, knowing that they can take care of themselves. I don't need to bother about their diet. But she first of all puts all her attention to the smallest one. Because this one is helpless, this one has no knowledge, what to eat, what not to eat, and how to be happy, how to be, I say, if you eat the wrong thing, you have pain and you'll be unhappy and so on. So, the helpless one, that is her attention. Wholesale attention is at the youngest. Or maybe the next, or maybe the next. Or one of them is sick. One of them is weak. Or one of them is too fat, too bulky. So mother has a complete interest for each one and how to feed each one in the appropriate way and proper way. Now this requires a lot of love, unselfish love. Mother need not exhibit her emotion, oh, I love you, nonsense. That's not the way. It has to be a wise way of dealing things. So love must be based on wisdom, wisdom-based love. And that love is called unselfish love, disinterested love. And that can happen when you don't want to hurt anybody, harm anybody, and only protect everybody, shield everybody, do good to everybody. Only when you have developed a mindset of this kind, that you can deal with everybody in the world, every situation in the world, every trying moment in life, and deal with such, with consummate metta, love and wisdom. So, Buddha, Bhagavan also gave examples. He said how to do that. So he says, na paro parang nikubbetha, jnati manjetha katha chinam kanchi, vyarosana patighasanya, na anyamanyasya dukkha vichaya. Let none deceive or decry his fellow anywhere. Decry or deceive because motivated by either resentment or hate, or the badla, patighasana, vengefulness or revenge. All the suffering today you see all over the world, much of it comes from vengeful, the idea of taking revenge, and that in the name of religion. Nothing can be more tragic than this. And this happens because the mind is devoid, empty of any trace of wisdom. Wisdom is based on clear understanding of certain laws. A law means that which universally prevails and does not brook any interference from any source, human or divine. For instance, the law of karma. Action produces reaction. You don't need to bring a god to create all that reaction, or a guru or a person or a mother or a father. No. Your action itself will produce a reaction. And the wisdom to see through that every action must produce a reaction. That is by the very nature, it is Dhamma, it is a natural law that an action must produce reaction. You decry somebody. You find fault. Decrying means find fault and seeing holes in others and have a negative attitude and critical attitude towards others. What kind of mind is this? You have a very negative mind based on dosa, hate, resentment, ill will, These are very negative and hurting type emotions. The moment you hate somebody, dislike somebody, resent somebody, decry somebody, you have hurt yourself most, because that thought of hurting somebody arises within you, in your mind. And by allowing such a negative thought to arise, you have hurt yourself profoundly. Already, with the arising of the mind of hate, you have hated yourself. By deceiving somebody, either motivated by greed, or motivated by hatred, or motivated by delusion, or anything. There may be 100 motivations which may make you deceive. Now, you are doing business. Good. And you want to make money. Very good. So you say, you deceive people left and right. And you say, oh, this is part of business. You want to promote your business. You go and then, under the table, you bribe an officer or a minister or somebody to just, avoid the working of a law. The country is governed by laws, jurisprudence, and you want the officer or somebody to illegally do some favor to you. Break the law. And you have to get your thing done, move the paper from this table to that table and so on. You want the person to break the law. Law has its own course. Now, how will it show? Now you want him to break, and he will break somebody else's also. So this breaking course will go on right up to the minister. Each one will keep on breaking. So you have a cycle of breaking law, of, resorting to falsehood, to lie, to cheat, and to corrupt. Corrupt the mind of others because you have corrupted your own mind first. So now deceit can show itself in 100 different ways. You ask this official, he says, Mamul hai. Everybody does. If I don't do, nothing will happen. I can't get along. I will be pushed out somewhere and posted somewhere else. If I don't do the minister's bidding, he will throw me out somewhere. So I have to do. And the minister will say, oh yes, it is part of politics. I have to get my ticket. I have to think of my next election and my vote, and cheat the people who are supposed to vote, give them wine, give them arak, give them all kinds of presents, and get a vote. So the whole thing stinks, all because of this mind to deceive. And what is this mind to deceive? You deceive yourself. First, you begin with deceiving yourself. How? You think that this deceiving act will have no reaction. It is an action. It's an intentional action to break the law, to tell the lie, to bring about corruption, to bring about so much of evil in the society, just because you don't see that there is a law behind everything. There is an underlying law. This deceiving mind, by way of lansa, by way of bribing somebody, you have absolutely corrupted the whole country. With all our atom bombs and with all our super power status and what not, the country is rotten. It's rotting with corruption. And the ordinary people, good people, they suffer a lot because of that. So here, metta as a wisdom action means knowing that every action has a reaction. So not to deceive others must be based on a deeper knowledge of the law of karma and punarjanma. By deceiving now somebody, a time will come I will be deceived by so many people. Because I have deceived somebody, there will be somebody else to deceive me. And that somebody else again. Like that is no end of suffering, all because of this greed or hate, the motivation by which you deceive. And if in this world, because you have money and you have this and that pull and influence and all that, you somehow get along or get away. You get along in this society because everybody is doing, okay? And you think you have got away from the consequence of your action. Nonsense. You have never got away. You can't get away from the consequence of an unwholesome action, unethical karma, unethical action. That action will dog you just like the wheel of the cart dogs the foot of the drought animal. The first gatha of Dhamma. You can never avoid the consequence. So in the next life, what will happen if you have avoided this life somehow? You have cheated yourself, cheated the world, and you think you have cheated destiny. No. Impossible to cheat destiny. Destiny is created by law, not by cunning, not by manipulation of man. No. So here you will be born in a poor family having deceived somebody. You have deprived somebody by deceiving. And if you deprive somebody, you will be deprived. Or deceive, let us say, from childhood your mother will hate you, your father will hate you, brother, sister will hate you, and deceive you in 100 different ways. Wherever you go, you'll be cheated or you'll lose. You'll be a loser everywhere. Once you have wisdom enough, you will never deceive, because you know the consequences of such act. What happens when you deceive due to greed? What happens when you decry, hate, harbor ill will, and you are negative, or you are ungrateful? Why? Because the deceiving mind, because of this hateful mind. So your self-interest, to promote self-interest, you are ungrateful, which is the worst quality that anybody can have. And ingratitude is the very opposite of spirituality. So now, by understanding deeply, every action, whether any action I do, say or think, even think, all these actions have reactions. So a deep understanding, a clear understanding of the law of karma enables you to avoid doing wrong, like deceiving, cheating, and all that, or decrying. So, with resentment and hate and all that, no. Your mind will get limited, constricted by all these actions, when you know that. And if you know that you have got a constricted, limited mind, it's a very, very great disadvantage. You can never be successful in life. Only a developed mind, very bright mind, boundless mind, can thrive here and now and hereafter. With this I conclude. I will continue with this. It's a very profound subject, And I wish every one of you will deeply think about your actions, your conduct. May the grace of Bhagavan Buddha surround your lives with wisdom and well-being. May you all be enabled to practice unselfish love all the time. Practice metta based on wisdom. May you all be happy and well.